Okay, so we will start today with some fascia circles, as always, to get the body moving. So starting with the left leg, we're going to start circling into the ankle. Really big circles into the ankle, getting into the edges of the range of motion. Then take that circle in the other direction. Today is going to be all about the legs. So important to warm those up before we get started. And then moving into the knees. As always, throughout class, if you need to rest, rest. And if you need to modify something for your unique body, then modify for your unique body. Take those circles in the other direction. Excellent. And then into the hip. I'm feeling very unbalanced this morning. Excellent, and then take those circles in the other direction. Good stuff. And then we'll move to the other leg. So starting with the ankle, really trying to make that circle as big as possible. And then take that in the other direction. Good, and then into the knee. Fascia circles are brilliant just for getting the body moving when we first get out of bed and we've been stationary for however long we've been sleeping. Take that in the other direction. It's a great quick warm up if you're doing something like running as well, just to get things moving before you go pound the pavements. And then take it into the hip. So we're gradually moving through every single major joint in the body, taking that in the other direction. And you can always hold on to something if you feel unbalanced, or try putting your hands in different places to see what makes you feel most stable. Excellent, and bring both feet down to the ground, a bit wider than hip width, and do really, really big circles into the hips. So taking the bum right back and then bringing the hips right forwards. And then taking those in the other direction. Whilst we're moving through, just noticing any tight spots, any areas of tension that you need to work on, or maybe send the breath to, trying to release. And then bring the hips to stillness and aim for the very, very center of the torso to move your ribs around in a circle. Taking it one way. Really trying to isolate that movement to the middle of the body. And then taking it the other way. Excellent. Couple more circles. And then a few circles through the shoulders, hooking them up and then back down the body. And then squeezing the shoulder blades behind you and pulling them forwards. Good. And circling through the wrists, really, really big circles. And the other way. And then doing it with a closed fist, which gets the stretch more into the forearms as well. And then the other way. Into the elbows. And the other way. And then big circles into those shoulders. And then bring those forwards. Good. And then allow the arms to come down by the sides and take the left ear to the left shoulder. Just letting the head hang for a moment, feeling the stretch down the side of the neck. Then take the chin towards the shoulder and scrape it around the collarbones, around the front of the body till you get to the other side. Then take the ear back towards the shoulder and let the head hang, feeling the stretch down the side of the neck. Chin back towards the shoulder, scrape it around the front, scrape it back, scrape it around the front, scrape it back, and then scrape it back the other way, ear to shoulder. Then coming up to centre, drop the chin right down towards the chest, interlace the fingers and cup the back of the skull in the palms. And then press your head up into your hands as you press the back of your head with your hands slightly to get a stretch down the back of the neck. Keeping that chin tucked into the chest. Keep breathing. Excellent, and then release that off. We'll do a few sun salutations to make sure that the body is nice and warm. Sun's come out, so I need to strip off my jumper. So come to the top of the mats. Take a nice big inhale, arms up. And then exhale, bend the knees, folding forwards. Inhale, nice long back, long neck. Exhale, fold forwards, hands on the mat, step back to plank. Bring the knees to the floor and then take the chest and the chin to the floor and wiggle forwards into cobra pose. Exhale, back down, tuck the toes, take the hips back towards the heels and press up into our first down dog of the day. Have a wiggle and a jiggle in down dog. So really stretching the chest towards the thighs. Knees can be bent, keep the back long. Maybe nod the head or shake the head, releasing any tension in the neck. Maybe padding through the heels. Wherever you feel your body needs a stretch or a wiggle, have a stretch or a wiggle. And looking forward, stepping forwards, inhaling halfway lift, exhale folding forwards. Inhale all the way up, exhale hands to heart center. Inhale arms up. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step back to plank. Bring the knees down, bring the chest and the chin down. Coming forwards into cobra. Excellent. Exhale, back down, tuck the toes. Take the hips back towards the heels, press up into your downward facing dog. Again, couple of breaths in downward facing dog. Then looking forward, step the feet to behind the wrists. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, moving a little bit more quickly this time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step or jump back to plank, landing lightly. Knees, chest, chin, or come down through chaturanga into cobra or up dog. Then take the hips up, come over into your downward facing dog. Look forwards, bend the knees, step or jump forwards, landing lightly. Inhale, half lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, up, exhale, hands heart center. Keep it moving, inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, half lift, exhale, fold. Step or jump back to plank, landing lightly. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, coming through into cobra or up dog. Stretch that chest forwards. Take the hips up, come over the toes into downward facing dog. Stretch the chest towards the thighs. Look forward, bend the knees, step or jump forwards, landing lightly. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good stuff. Right, should we just get started? As I said, it's all about the legs today. So we have 4 rounds of HIIT. Each round is 8 rounds of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds rest. 10 seconds rest, you can do whatever feels good for you. Today we're based on chair, warrior one, tabletop, side lunge and a half moon. So lots of yoga poses, but we're going to move around them to get our heart rates up and get ourselves feeling strong. The first one, apologies in advance Danny, you're not going to like this one because it's for the outside of the bum. Either hands at heart centre, hands on hips, either way is absolutely fine. If you want to make it really difficult, you can have arms up above the head, but maybe leave that for the last couple of rounds. So we come down into a wide leg chair, and then we lift the leg up. We're not kicking this time, we're literally lifting the leg up. So we're squeezing the outside of the bum, moving from one side to the other side. So we're not kicking like we normally would, this is more of a lift. So, because we keep moving, it's the same for 8 rounds on this one. So are you ready? Born ready, all of you, I can tell. Okay, let's go. So down into chair, lift. Really squeezing all the muscles around the hip and around the glutes. Don't necessarily have to go that fast, although if you want to go quicker, you can. Really think about keeping control of the movement. Excellent. And rest. So just 7 more of those. So in the rest, you can do whatever you want to do. If you want to wiggle your hips or, okay, next round, let's go. Try and alternate the leg you start with to make things even. And think about pulling everything towards the midline as you move to make sure that you're keeping control of the movement and that your core muscles are getting involved too. Keep breathing. Nice noisy exhales and rest. So we're exhaling on the effort. So we inhale down, exhale as we lift. Okay, get ready for the next round. Inhale, inhale. Good. And rest. You'll probably start to feel this one in the glutes and maybe the upper legs on the outsides. Next round, let's go. Make sure those squats are nice and deep. Good stuff. And rest. Feel free to move however your body wants to move in the rest. Next round, let's go. Good. Keep that breath moving. Keep those muscles engaged as you're moving through. And rest. 3 more to go. You've totally got this. Let's go. Good. And rest. Hopefully you're starting to warm up by now. Okay, let's go. Lifting those legs, squeezing those muscles. Keep the breath moving. Try and keep the shoulders as central as possible so we're not leaning right over. Good. Oh, you're nearly there already. And then the first round will be done. Okay, get ready. Last one. If you want to have the hands up, feel free to have your hands up. Reach for the stars. No mountain high enough. I didn't warn you I was going to hurt your eardrums too, did I? Keep moving. Almost there. Whew, good work, well done. Round one, completely finished. So, in order to have our little rest, we'll come down onto the floor, bringing the feet in front of us into butterfly, and just having a little flap of our butterfly wings. If you need some water, have some water. Just bouncing the knees. Allowing the outer thighs and the outer hips just to have a bit of a stretch. Okay, so whilst you're down here having a little rest, I will explain the next one. The next one's based on Warrior One. So we actually do crescent lunge legs because it's better alignment for the back heel, but nice bend in the front knee. You have two options here. We're going to do 4 rounds on one leg, 4 rounds on the other leg. So you can either do level 1 or level 2 for the whole 8 rounds, or you can do 2 of each on each side. So the first exercise is dips. So we try and keep this front leg as stationary as possible, and we bend the back knee down towards the floor to hover, and then we straighten it. We bend the back knee to hover, and then we straighten it. So that's your option 1. The second option is we come down onto our knees, and I know you love these ones, and we hop up. We come down onto our knees and we hop up. So those are the two options, either dips or from the floor hop ups. So we do 4 rounds on the left leg to start with. So I'm going to mix it up so that I can give you cues for everything. So I'll do 2 dips and then 2 pop-ups. So first of all, get ready in your Warrior One legs. You want to be quite low as you can. It's easier to be lower than it is to be higher. So nice bend in the front knee and a nice wide stance. Round 1, let's go. So dipping that knee down towards the floor and then lengthening that back leg. Dipping the knee down, lengthening the back leg. Dipping the knee down, lengthening the back leg. Dipping the knee down, lengthening that leg. Good, and rest. That's round 1 done. You'll be pleased to know. Okay, so we have another round of that, or another 3 rounds of that, depending on what you choose. So dip that knee down, straighten the leg. So really make everything come from that back leg. Think about tucking the tailbone under slightly to even lengthen that back leg further. Keeping the shoulders above the hips. Keep breathing. Good. Okay, so you can either do another 2 rounds of that if you want to. If you want to switch it up, we're going to do pops instead. So with the pops, you come down to the floor, arms up, pop up, fists come to hips. Inhale, exhale. Inhale down, exhale up. So really think about an explosive movement coming off the mat. Inhale down, and relax. Good work. 1 more, then we'll switch to the right side. Okay, get ready. Down we go. Pop up. Make sure that landing is soft on the knee. We don't want any clunking down onto the floor. Everything is a controlled movement, which keeps the body safe. Almost there. And relax. Good stuff. Right, we're going to move to the other leg. So starting with dips if you want to. Dipping that knee down, lengthening the leg. Dipping the knee down, lengthening the leg. Good. Keeping that front leg as still as possible. Yes. And rest. Okay, round 2 on this side. Nice low stance. Then take the knee down, straighten the back leg. Keeping that front leg as still as possible. Good, keep breathing. Noisy exhales. Good stuff. And rest. If you're ramping it up for the last 2 rounds, we'll do the pop-ups. So, down onto the ground, pop up. Down onto the ground, pop up. Good, keep moving. Always a controlled descent. So we touch down lightly, and then hop up. Good, and rest. Last 20 seconds. You've totally got this. Get ready. Last one, let's go. Reaching up with the arms as you go down. Bringing the fists to the hips as you pop up. Tension in the muscles to control the movement. Keep going, you're nearly there. Yes. And relax. Come all the way down onto your mats. Bring in your water with you if you need. Obviously, that was a lot of flexion of the hips. So come down into cobra pose or sphinx. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Maybe just having a rock from side to side through the hips. If you feel like you want a further stretch, you can always pull a leg in and pull the heel towards your glutes. If you do one side, obviously do the other side too. Whew. And then I'll explain the next one. So we've worked the front of our legs, we've worked the outsides of our legs, now we're going to work the backs of our legs. So in tabletop, we'll do 4 on one side, 4 on the other side. Take the hands slightly forward of the shoulders. In this one, we're kicking up. So we take our leg up and then we kick it up. So it's staying out the back. We're not bringing it all the way forward and all the way back. We've just got toes pointing towards the ceiling and we're kicking it straight up, keeping the knee high. So we'll do 4 on the left, 4 on the right. So really thinking about working the back of the leg and the bottom of the bum. Are we ready? Of course you're ready. Okay, let's go. So kicking that leg up towards the ceiling, keeping the core muscles pulled in so we're not overextending the back. You want the back to remain in neutral and you want the work to come from the leg and the glutes. So really kicking those toes up towards the ceiling, but keep the core engaged. And rest. 3 more on this side. You can always put a cushion underneath the supporting knee if you need to. So get those kicks moving. Get that core pulled in so that the back is safe. Keep the neck nice and long. Keep breathing. Kicking that leg up as high as you can kick it up. Nearly there. Good. Keep going and rest. Resting however you want to rest. Round 3. Let's get those kicks up. You can also play with doing it with a flexed foot or a pointed toe, whichever feels best for your anatomy. Hopefully you can feel this in the bum or down the back of the leg by now. Keep kicking and rest. 1 more on this side, you've totally got this. It's only 20 seconds. Nice big breath. And then let's go. Last one on this side. Get those kicks, kicking up, up, up. Keep breathing. Keep that core pulled in to protect the back. You know you've got this. It's only a little bit longer. Keep kicking. And stop. Good stop and rest. So moving to the other side. Let's go. So keep that core pulled in first. You want to protect the lower back. So no arching in the back, we're keeping it neutral. And then kick that leg up towards the ceiling. Keep the neck nice and long. Keep breathing. Really pull those core muscles in, make them work. And rest. 3 more rounds on this side. Let's go. So keep those legs kicking up. Try and keep the hips level. Pull that core in to keep the lower back safe. And the only thing that's moving is your leg, and it's your leg muscles doing the work. Pull the core in to support you and rest. Okay, let's go. Penultimate round. Tiny little kicks up towards the ceiling, keeping that core pulled in. Really make all of the muscles around the waist tight. Make the body stable. Really work from the muscles in the bum and down the back of the leg. Keep kicking and rest. 20 seconds left to go. You've totally got this. It's the final round. Big breath. And let's go. Final 20 seconds, as fast or as slow as you want, but keep those core muscles engaged. It's really important to keep the body stable. Use the leg muscles to lift the leg. Kicking those toes up towards the ceiling. You've totally got this. Keep the neck long, almost there, a couple more kicks, and rest. So this time, obviously, we've really been working those back of the legs and around the bum. So into child pose, a wide leg child pose, so the knees are apart. Stretch the hands forwards to start with and bring the head down towards the mat. You should then really feel that lengthening round the back of the glutes and into the upper hamstrings. You can wrap the arms around your legs so that the hands come to the feet if that's more comfortable. Or you can keep your arms straight out in front of you, whichever feels best for your body. And have a couple of breaths here. And then we have one more round to get through. So whilst you're resting in child's pose, I'll explain the final round. So we've done the backs of the legs, we've done the outsides of the legs, we've done the fronts of the legs. We're now going to do the insides of the legs. So inner thighs, a go-go. Here we come. So we'll do 4 stepping with the right leg and 4 stepping with the left leg. So the main pose in this is side lunge. So we're stepping to the side and coming into a side lunge. Now it can be a high lunge, it can be a mid lunge, you can come all the way down if you really, really feel the need to. Then we come up and we push with that leg back to either standing for level 1. We have that explosive movement, squeezing the inner thighs together to come back to tree as level 2. Or we do our side lunge and then with a lot of control, we push ourselves up, we come over into half moon for level 3. So those are your 3 options. The muscle I really want you to focus on is in the inner thighs. So every time we step to the side, we're lengthening this muscle, and every time we squeeze back together again, we're pulling those inner thighs towards one another. So those are the muscles we're concentrating on. So if we're starting with coming back to Tadasana, you can stand right at the end of the mat. I'll do a few of each so that you get all the cues that you need. Okay, so is everybody ready? Yep, okay, let's start. So to start with, if you're coming down into lunge, really explosive movement back to Tadasana. Into lunge, really push it up, squeeze those inner thighs. Moving as slowly or as quickly as you can, as long as you're keeping control of the movement. Keeping the head up so you're looking forwards, and rest. Good. So really think about those inner thighs, think about pulling them in together. The next round, I'm going to go to tree. So inhale over, exhale back to low tree. Inhale over, exhale back to low tree. Keep the core muscles pulled in because that will help. And really focus on squeezing those inner thighs together as you come back up. Good, and rest. So we've got 2 more on this side. So either continue doing Tadasana, continue doing tree, or move to half moon, where you lunge, half moon, really pulling everything in. Into your lunge, pull the inner thighs together over to half moon. Into your lunge, really squeezing everything together. You want to keep control of the movement, so we're not flying through the air. Good, and rest. Last round on this side. Keep some tension in the muscles. It means you can control the movement better. It also works into the layers of the fascia better, so all the connective tissue in your body. Good stuff. Keep breathing. Whatever feels natural to you. Normally inhaling on the easy bit, exhale on the hard bit. Good. Other side. So 4 rounds on the other side and we are done. So get ready and let's go. So if we're lunging, explosive move back to Tadasana. Lunging, squeeze those inner thighs back. Inhale down, exhale together. Good stuff, keep moving. Keep those heads up. Good, and rest. 3 more to go. So this time I'm going to do tree. Let's go. So lunging over as low as you can, back to tree. Lunging over to tree. Good stuff. Keep moving. Keep breathing. Keep control of your movement. Keep the head up. Look forwards. Good, and rest. So if you want to do half moon, for the last 2 rounds, I'm going to move to half moon. So lunge, keep control of the movement. Lunge, keep control of the movement. Really pulling the core muscles in. Maybe playing with the foot positioning so you can keep your knees happy. Good, and rest. Good. This is our last round. Okay, let's go. Lunging down. Inhaling, exhaling. Keep that breath moving. Keep the head up. Keep some tension in all of the muscles. Excellent. Oh, you did it. Right, sit down on the ground. Legs out in front of you. After all of that work on our inner thighs, let's bring one foot close to the pelvis and the other foot in front of it. And then put your hands on your knees. Press your knees into your hands as much as your hands can press into your knees. And take a big breath. On the exhale, release. On the inhale, press, knees into hands. On the exhale, release. On the inhale, press knees into hands. On the exhale, release. Good. Then bring the feet in front of you. Wrap your elbows around your knees. This time we're going to press out into our elbows. So the knees are pressing into the elbows. So on an inhale, press the knees out. On an exhale, let them release. On an inhale, press elbows into knees and knees into elbows. On the exhale, release it off. One more. Knees into elbows, really press. And then exhale, release. Well done. Coming up onto our knees. We'll just have a moment stretching the hips forward. So we'll have our knees a little bit wider than hip width, toes together, hands on the lower back. Press the hips forwards, opening the chest towards the ceiling. So really lengthening down the front of the legs, lengthening down the the quads. Good. Couple of breaths here. Really pushing those hips forwards. And then pull the core in to come up. Tuck the toes, hands to the floor. Take the bum up towards the ceiling, so we come into a forward fold. This time we'll bend the knees a lot so that our torso is laid on our upper thighs. And then take the arms around the back of the legs so you give your legs a hug. If that's not available to you, you can just hold onto your onto your calves, and you'll get similar sort of stretch. So hugging those legs, head is going to be stretching down towards the floor. Your torso stays in contact with the thighs, so don't let any room for light or air between your thighs and your torso. Take a nice big inhale with the legs really bent, and on your exhale, try and straighten them as much as you can whilst you're still keeping that contact on the thighs. Inhale to come back down, bending the knees, and then exhale, straighten and really hug yourself tight. Inhale, bend the knees, bring the bum down a bit, and then exhale to straighten and squeeze. Excellent. Last one of the stretches before we lay on the floor. Bring one foot forwards, take the other knee down towards the floor. Take the hips forwards and down, so we've got a stretch happening in the hip flexors straight away. And then bend the back knee up. Bringing the elbow to the front knee, reach around towards that back leg and pull it towards the glutes. If you can't reach it, find a little bit of wall, because the easiest way to do this is to put your knee in the corner of the wall and step the other leg forwards. Then you don't have to reach it. You can do the same stretch without having to do the bind. Essentially, you want to feel a really good stretch along the front of the quad, so along the front of the thigh and into the hip flexor. That's where you want to try and feel that stretch. Couple of breaths here. And then we can move to the other side if you're not stuck against the wall. Oh, I love a bit of challenge on a Saturday morning. So wherever you're at, if you don't have a wall, you can always lean it against a handy sofa if there's one of those nearby. And also notice how the stretch changes. The closer your heel is to your bum, and also the further forward you move your hips, how that moves the stretch in your leg. Excellent. So now we've moved our legs in every direction and we've stretched our legs in every direction. We can lay on the floor and have a rest. So coming back onto your backs, feet as wide or wider than your yoga mat, and arms out of the way. Just start to windscreen wiper the legs from one side to the other, letting one knee drop in and then letting the other knee drop in. Stretching the knee away at the end of the stretch if that feels good. And then when you've done both sides, take the hips, bring the hips back to the mat and the feet back to the mat. And take your arms, that's what I actually meant, take your arms straight out from your shoulders so that your arms form the top of a capital letter T. And then hug the knees in towards the chest. Really ground down through the shoulders and through the palms. So the shoulders and the arms and the palms are going to stay in contact with the ground and with the mat. Take a nice big inhale, pulling those core muscles in. As you exhale, roll the legs to one side, but only as far as your shoulders and your arms will allow. So we stay glued to the floor. Inhale the knees back through centre, and keeping those shoulders and arms glued, exhale them over to the other side. Notice how that feels in your body. Inhaling back to centre, exhaling one way. Notice whether one side you've got more range of movement than the other. Inhale back to centre, exhale the other way, keeping those arms and shoulders glued down. See how that feels in your body, where it's stretching, if there's any areas of tension. Inhale back through centre, we'll do one more each way. Really focus on how this movement feels as we exhale over to one side. Maybe staying there for a couple of heartbeats this time. Then inhaling back to centre. Nice and slowly exhaling over to the other side, keeping those arms and shoulders glued down, feeling how that feels in the body, where you need to be stretched. And then inhale back to centre. Excellent. Take the legs out long. Take the arms up above the head. And then reach out through the right arm, through the left toe. So opposite sides of the body. Really stretch, stretch, stretch. And then relax those limbs back down onto the ground. Then the other side. Left arm, right toe. Stretch them apart from one another. Really try and make them longer than the limb that's laid on the floor. Really stretch and then relax. Back to the other side. So right arm, left leg. Stretch, stretch, stretch and relax. Left arm, right leg. Stretch, stretch, stretch and relax. One more each side. Right arm, left toes. Really stretch, really lengthen through those limbs. Feel it all the way through the core of your body, through your belly as you stretch and then relax. And last one, left arm, right toe. Really stretch, stretch, stretch. Feel it through the core of your body as you stretch. Make those limbs really long and then relax them down to the ground. Bring the arms down by the sides. Let the legs fall open. Make sure the lower back is comfortable and the shoulders are tucked underneath the torso. Any pain in the lower back, bring the feet to the mat, let the knees roll in. Otherwise, just keep the legs long and relaxed. And after all that hard work you've just done over the last 45 minutes, just enjoy the weight of your body pressed by gravity into the mat as it relaxes. Taking the focus to the breath. Not changing the breath in any way at all. Simply watch it flowing into the body and flowing out of the body. Just observing the breath. Notice the length of the breath. Notice the depth of the breath. Notice where the breath moves your body. And notice how the breath feels in your body. Notice how your body feels today. Not making any judgments, just accepting that that's how it feels and making a mental note. Then we'll take 10 deep breaths. With each inhale, send the breath deep into the body, expanding the torso, the chest, the ribs, the belly, until the body is full of oxygen. Have a little pause, and then on each exhale, let go of any tension or any stresses that are left in the body. So 10 breaths. And gradually bring the awareness back to the body and how it feels. Allowing the breath to come back to normal. Maybe thinking about moving, passing the pad of the thumb over each of the fingertips or wiggling the fingers and toes. Maybe circling through the wrists or ankles, maybe rolling the head from side to side. Move in whatever way your body wants to move. If you feel like a stretch, then stretch. If you want to hug your knees in and circle through your hips, then do it. And listening to what your body wants. And then when you're ready, roll over onto your side and come up to seated. And we're finished with 3 big deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And if you'd like to do lion's breath, then feel free to do so. As you exhale, stretch the chest forwards and poke the tongue out as far as it will go. So those 3 breaths. Thank you for practicing with me this morning and making the effort to get out of bed and get sweaty. I love you all.